If you woke up this morning and thought, gee, I want to watch an average Aussie bloke in his backyard cook a traditional South African dish on a Japanese fire pit, well, you've come to the right place. The name of this dish, in my most hatchet South African accent I can muster, is a Braai Broodjie. Braai Broodjie. Braai is a barbecue, a South African barbecue, and broodjie is a traditional sandwich that you'd serve as a side dish with your barbecue. It's got three main ingredients: cheese, tomato and onion, and you can pretty much, the rest is up for interpretation and however you want to do it. This is the out there with Dan version. It's intended as a side dish, but really it's pretty good on its own. Later on we'll definitely try it as a side dish, but today it's the main event. If you like the combination of cheese and tomato in a sandwich, you're going to love this one. The strategy here is to prep all the ingredients and get them nicely presented so you can build all the sandwiches in one hit. That's where the fun part is, I reckon, putting them together. We're using the Snow Peak fire pit with the grill bridge. The grill bridge is on the highest notch, so it's at its lowest heat. We're going to fill the charcoal starter probably between halfway and 3/4. We don't need this too hot. We don't want them to burn or cook too quickly. We're using the Oz Braai Grill to put the bread in. I think it's a really excellent tool for this kind of job. I was talking with my mum last night, just after I finished shooting, telling her what I was up to and stuff. And she reminded me that when I was a youngster, I used to get home from school and polish off like half a loaf of bread with cheese and tomato sandwiches. And that got me thinking, maybe I was destined, the stars aligned, and I was put on this earth to make this sandwich. 8 slices of sandwich sliced bread, not too thin, not too thick. White works the best. The cheese is one of the areas you can mix it up and get fancy. So we're using a sharp white cheddar cheese, about 100 grams, and some Gouda cheese, about 100 grams as well. This is more of a soft, creamy, good for melting, and this gives you more of a bitey taste, so a good combination. Mozzarella would also work well too, I've seen that. This one I've chosen is just crumbled as I've tried to grate it. That'll be alright though. That'll be enough. 2 or 3 really ripe, juicy truss Italian tomatoes. That's the way to go. Alright, and the onion, half a brown onion, maybe a bit less. You just want this paper thin slices of onion. I'm spreading the charcoal around roughly in the center, about the size of the 4 bits of bread, so that it cooks nice and evenly. Roughly. I'm just going to take the bite out of the onion by heating them in just some warm to hot water for about 5 or 10 minutes. This takes the sulfuric compounds out of the onion and just takes away that immediate bite, so you're not getting that raw onion taste, you're getting a little bit more of a subdued taste. And at the same time, this butter says it's spreadable, but I don't really believe it, so I'm just going to melt this down a little bit, make it easier to spread. Charcoal's really starting to get hot now. I'm losing a bit of heat to the wind. It's a nice sunny day, but it's a bit windy. These little stainless bowls aren't really designed to be put on the fire, but being stainless steel, they can heat up and cool down in that kind of warm to hot range. No dramas at all, so it does the job. This is what I love about outdoors cooking. Just getting your hands dirty, getting into it, creating something, doing something different. You know, it's a fairly simple thing, but still a lot of fun. Buttering both sides, that's what gives you that golden, crispy, delicious, toasty taste. This is an iconic South African condiment, Mrs. H.S. Ball's original recipe chutney. It's a household name in South Africa and one of the country's biggest exports. Alright, first of all, thin layer of chutney. Chutney smells so good. Just got this really nice zing to it. Really nice combination of spices. Next up, straight on with the tomato. The tomato and the chutney, the flavors really work well together, so get them to bind together nicely. How's this for a cool story? As it's told, an Indian chef passed down the recipe in 1872 to the two sole survivors of a shipwreck. It was passed down then one generation to Amelia Ball, and that's how the brand started. The ship was wrecked in East London off the coast of South Africa, and it was on a voyage between Canada and Australia, so Australia gets a bit of a mention too. Alright, next we're doing spices, salt, white pepper. White pepper's got this earthy groundy taste that I really like for some things, and this is one of them. Don't always like white pepper, but this is a good one for it. And secret ingredient, I'm adding onion powder as well as onion. You can find onion salts pretty easily in big supermarkets. So if you're using onion salts, I wouldn't put any extra salt on there. This is onion powder. You can find it in like international grocers, Asian groceries, that sort of places. Next goes on a thin kind of blob of mayonnaise on each one. This one's the most tasty one that I've found, which probably means it's the most unhealthy one you can buy. Alright, next comes the onion. A nice hot onion bowl over here. Some of these could have been a bit thinner, but I quite like onion. And at the end of it you get some onion water you can drink. Just kidding, I wouldn't recommend drinking onion water. I went inside and said to my wife, if you drink this bowl of onion water, I'll buy you a diamond ring. And she still didn't drink it. I don't know about you, but I'd probably go a diamond ring for a bowl of onion juice. Sounds like a fair trade. All right, and then we're just left with the cheese. Let's do it. Spread that out a bit so it melts to the edges. Awesome. And that is how you prep a Braai Broodjie. Push them down a bit. Try and seal the edges. Position them on, get them nice and close together so that it makes the most of the heat and means I can keep them central on the thing. Alright. Just push them down one last time. Don't have any paper towel. I'll wipe from the shorts, should be right. So, the plan is flip it at regular intervals. You're really only a couple of sips away at any point to burning it. So you just keep flipping it. It's not like a steak. You just want to do a bit on one side, a bit on the other side. Let that heat work its way through. Get the cheese melted. Get that nice crispy golden outer, and that's the plan. Move it around a bit. Make sure you're getting it nice and even. You can see there the heat was a bit centralized on that side. It's not burnt, that's still really beautiful, but we'll try to make it a bit more even. So reading between the lines, Mrs. H.S. Ball's chutney is kind of like the Vegemite of South Africa. Or it's kind of like the Foster's beer of South Africa. I say that because Foster's beer seems to be really popular overseas as an Australian export, but I think in Australia, not that many people are that keen on Foster's. So if you're South African, is this as popular condiment in South Africa as I'm led to believe? This is a really excellent one because tomato, onion and cheese are really common things in the Australian pantry or the common Australian shop. You know, lots of people have those ingredients. And then a lot of people have a chutney or a relish. You know, they might carry one or two little condiments, some mayonnaise for sandwiches, whatever. So you can really use whatever you've got to kind of change this how you want. I guess what makes this the Out There with Dan version is the onion powder, as well as the onion, and also the mayonnaise. But apart from that, this is a pretty traditional broodjie. It's been a beautiful day here in Melbourne. Bring on more of this spring weather. I'm ready for it. It'll be even better when we can get out and about. I'd really like to do these cooking videos remote. I've set up all my gear so that I can basically put it in the car, head somewhere beautiful, off the beaten track, and cook up something nice to show you. But it's just not the right time, is it? So it's been tough trying to start an outdoors YouTube channel in the middle of a lockdown, or over a period of a couple of years of a pandemic. But I think I'm in for the long haul. So this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is all practice, and it's only going to get better from here. Too bad on that side. If you leave too much cheese on the outside from when you're just putting them together, the cheese is what will stick to the grid. So with the butter, it shouldn't stick, but if you've got cheese melted on or burnt, then that's what will make it stick. So just be careful, you've got a clean bread and butter surface on the mesh as you put it on. If you try too hard to do all the bits and corners and stuff, you'll end up burning other parts of it. So that's beautiful, crispy. See if you can hear this. I'll wait till the bird's finished. Any minute now. There we go. Got another little munchkin at the door, interested in what's going on. Oh, you listen to this. Perfect. Alright, I'm going to take that off. That's over there, cooling down a bit. Looking forward to eating it. Let me rearrange things. See you shortly. Maybe a little bit of chutney on the side. Mrs. HS Balls, peach original recipe chutney. Alright. Still looks pretty hot in there. I might give it another minute. Cheese, tomato, onion, a little bit of chutney, a little bit of mayonnaise. What a great meal. Great lunch. Best part of a dinner, I reckon. You wouldn't need much more. So good. It's such a great combination of flavours. You know, the chutney and the tomato work so well. Cheese and the mayonnaise go together, and you just put it all together with the tanginess of the chutney. Not hard to make. Pretty good, I reckon. Got to be proud of that. This is what brings the Oz Braai into its own, because you've got that capacity to grill things so easily, flip them over all the time. That'd be a nightmare on a normal grill. You wouldn't think you can taste charcoal. You know, you could do this on a skillet. Just do one side, one side, one side, keep flipping it over in, you know, a light coating of butter. But the charcoal you can certainly taste, and even with bread, the smoky flavour of the charcoal is really nice touch on this. If you're looking for any tips and advice for how to embarrass yourself on camera, I'm the guy, I'm the expert. Shoot your questions this way. Oh, and if you want advice on growing a beard. If you're a die-hard fan of the channel, you would have seen that I've got some new banner art and new logo. So I came up with a concept, and my friend Damien, who's an exceptionally talented graphics designer, has helped me out in a really big way. Let me know what you think of this new design, and thanks very much, Damien. If you haven't given this a go, you definitely should. It's pretty good. It only costs $5. I found it in Woolworths supermarket, so it's around. And I think that's what makes this something special, something different. So give that a try. I reckon that combination of cheese is the best. Gouda and a sharp white cheddar. You get the punch, but you also get that kind of creamy undertone and that beautiful melt. So good. All right, I'm going to go finish one of these off in private. Save the other two for later. My wife said she's not hungry, so more for me. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate you supporting the channel. I'll see you soon. Bye.